Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to talk about time management. There is a saying of the Holy Prophet, do not vilify time. Now we must manage our time, and in order to manage it properly, we must divide it into 5 segments. First is the time for job. It is like a rubber ball. That is, it is, it is not breakable. If you leave a job, you can find another job. That is not much of an issue. Then there is the time for the family, time with friends, time for layer, and time for the spiritual side. These are all crystal balls. You have to handle them with great clarity and with great enthusiasm. You must give time to the family. You must give time to your friends. You must have time for layer. That is, there should be time to stand and stare, and time for the spiritual side because our physical bodies will remain in this earth. They will be buried in the ground, and the spiritual side has to be developed. So the nature of the job should be such that you should get time for other activities also. It should not be a 24/7 kind of a job which keeps you committed and keeps you occupied in one slot only. Now here we take into account a novel written by Franz Kafka, and here he discusses the theme of dehumanization when a person becomes too much addicted to work, because in the capitalist society the needs are multiplied and people keep on working to meet their needs. The story warns us to be aware of workaholism and not to pursue materialistic pursuits so religiously. If the human soul gets trapped in worldly affairs, then it may suffocate itself to death like the silkworm does when it builds a cocoon around itself. So here in this story, the main character, Gregor Samsa, keeps on working like a workaholic. He is a salesman and he keeps on scurrying from one place to another. And then ultimately, one night when he wakes up, one day when he wakes up in the morning, he finds he has been transformed into a scurrying bug. So here the message is that if you keep yourself occupied too much in your work, you may regress to the animal level like it happened to Gregor Samsa. Now, there are different concepts of time. It is linear, it is progressive, vertical is above time and space. We will discuss these at some other time because these require detailed attention. But vertical time is the time which the Prophet gave us the example of, that is, he ascended to the empyrean, यानी अल्लाह ताला के अर्श तक पहुंचे. तो ये वर्टिकल टाइम है जिसमें आप लीनियर या प्रोग्रेसिव टाइम से निकल जाते हैं. बाकी टाइम जो है वो साइक्लिकल भी है, बार बार रिपीट होता रहता है, एक जैसे इवेंट्स आते रहते हैं, लोगों की आजमाइशें होती रहती हैं. हिस्टोरिकल भी है, प्रोग्रेसिव भी है, एवोल्यूशनरी भी है, डिस्ट्रक्टिव भी है. So all these are different dimensions of time, but we are not going to focus on this at the moment. Now, the point is one has to die, and the greatest desire of a believer is to meet God Almighty. About this, it is said that the Prophet said, whoever loves to meet Allah, Allah loves to meet him, and whoever hates to meet Allah, Allah hates to meet him. Hearing this, Hazrat Aisha exclaimed, but we do hate death. The Prophet responded, this is not what it means. When death comes to a believer, he is given the tidings of Allah's acceptance and bounties. Nothing is then dearer to him than what is ahead. He loves to meet Allah, and Allah loves to meet him. But when death comes to to a disbeliever, he is given the tidings of Allah's torture and punishment. Nothing is then more hateful to him than what is ahead. He hates to meet Allah, and Allah hates to meet him. This is a hadith from Al-Bukhari and Muslim. And according to Lama Iqbal, Nishane Marde Hak Digar Chimpi Goyam, Digar Cheguyam, Chun Margaya Tabassam Barlabe Uas. He says, what else can I give you as a sign of a believer? That when death approaches him, there is a smile on his lips. So we are accountable for our time. We can't claim that my time, my choice. No, we have our responsibilities to fulfill. There is a time of childhood when our parents are training us, then there is the period of adulthood, and then there is the period of old age. So one must live these time periods gracefully. So time of death should be welcome when it comes. There should be a smile on the face. Time wasted leads to regrets and horrors. And let no man call himself happy till he carries his happiness to the grave. This is a line from Sophocles' Oedipus the Rex. Okay, let no man call himself happy till he carries his happiness to the grave. All is well that ends well. Thank you very much. God bless you.